he does this, I agree with you. He just did not keep good records. He should have kept better records to prove his days in Florida versus his days in New York, and then this wouldn't be an issue.
The question is, how do you determine whether he lives in Florida or New York? It's very simple.
It is.
You look at, where is he going to date the most supermodels? Will it be going to Marquis and Fizz in Manhattan, or all-you-can-eat Arby's down in Tampa? The question is, it's a very simple answer.
That is a perfect close to that segment. You win the argument. You won.
He lives in New York.
Hey, guys, we'll be right back to talk about the tech
and he's going to jail.
Business.
He's not going to jail. You're out of your mind.
President Raul Castro allowing cell phones for Cuban citizens. Until now, cell phones were considered a luxury reserved only for those who were top commies in the state. Cell phones in communist Cuba. Buy, sell, or hold, Doctor?
I think it's a great idea to enter the 21st century, so buy.
Yeah, congratulations. It's about time.
I'm going to sell this only because they say that maybe cell phones can cause brain cancer, but according to Michael Moore, they'll have the best health coverage of anywhere in the world.
All right. Yeah, right, according to Moore. Not true, Doctor, right? But
oh, come on, grandstanding. Definitely a loser in this. I mean, he wins the publicity, but he loses face, that's for sure.
One loser. What do you say, Ryan?
Absolute loser, and I hate to say it, but he's embarrassing the state of Pennsylvania. Stick to what you know, not to this.
Joe?
He lost 40 years ago when he said a single bullet hit Kennedy and Conley.
Boy, we got Oliver Stone on set. We heard Roger Clemens at the top of the program again deny that he took any steroids. Joe Concha from FoxSports.com is back with us now to lighten things up a little bit. The story of some other big-name athletes who had some pretty extravagant excuses for what happened or didn't happen when they were supposedly doing their jobs. Good to see you again, Joe.
Good to see you.
So, number 6, Jonathan Papelbon. Explain what his excuse was.
Said that, well, we've always used this in grade school, that the dog ate my homework. Well, in this case, David, the dog ate the baseball that was used as a final out in the Red Sox World Series game against the Colorado Rockies when they swept in Game 4. Ironically, the dog's name is Boss. He named his dog, perhaps, after George Steinbrenner. That dog eats the ball. Could be a new curse.
Do we believe that the ball was eaten?
Hell no.
I don't think so. All right, number 5, Sammy Sosa. What was his excuse and for what?
Well, Sammy Sosa corked his bat in a game. Well, it was against the Devil Rays. You could use a wiffle ball bat and probably hit a home run against the Devil Rays. So cork goes flying, and Sosa is suspended for 8 games. But it wasn't as big as the cork that was in his mouth during congressional hearings 2 years ago when he suddenly forgot how to speak English.
That's right. That's right. He loves baseball. We know that. But there are the different corks, I imagine. But we don't buy the fact that he didn't know that the bat was corked.
Just like we don't buy the fact that he didn't use steroids, most likely. So steroids in a cork bat, that's how you get 600 home runs, perhaps.
Vinny Testaverde. Tell us about him.
Vinny Testaverde claimed that he was colorblind after one season when he threw 35 interceptions. So a Tampa radio station actually took out a billboard that was just blue and said, Vinny Testaverde thinks this is orange, because he was throwing somebody to the wrong team and the Bucks wore orange. So very cruel radio
Number
station.
3, Danny Almonte. Tell us about Danny.
Danny Almonte was a 14-year-old that played on a 12-year-old team.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that a couple of years ago,
yeah.
And they won the Little League World Series. And then later they said that actually that his birth certificate, there was a typo on it. But here's the irony,
it was such a shame because it obviously wasn't a kid's fault. I mean, his parents put him up to it.
It was the parents' fault, and obviously the coach knew as well. He was suspended for life from coaching in Little League.
For life?
For life.
Okay.
Correct. But here's the ironic part. When he was 19, he ended up marrying a 30-year-old woman. So evidently he likes hanging out with people that are either younger or older, but never the same age.
All right. Number 2, Sammy Baugh. Tell us about him.
Sammy Baugh is, you know, we don't see sports quotes like this anymore. He said, you know what? I never lost a game. I simply ran out of time. So no quarterback this year evidently has lost a game, but you don't see quotes like that anymore. So arrogant, and obviously he backed it up, one of the great quarterbacks in
There's
NFL
a period
history.
picture of him, too. Number 1, an entire team.
An entire team.
The New York Yankees, my boys. And what's the story there?
Well, this is very recent, David. As you know, in October they lost Game 2 of the American League Divisional Series against Cleveland when these bugs, these Lake Erie
I remember
midgets.
that. Yeah, we were watching it here in Scoreboard. Everybody was swatching these things.
Right. So Roger Clemens and George Steinbrenner said that Joe Torre should have pulled his team off the field, that the umpire should have delayed the game until these bugs went away. But you know what? The Cleveland Indians were on the same field. They had to pitch and hit as well, and they didn't make any excuses, and they performed well. So we see that as our number 1 worst excuse.
All right, Joe Concha, we're going to see you in Buy, Sell, or Hold coming later. On deck, this is a 6-year-old boy from India named Aniket Chindak. Now, it's reported that he's already set an unofficial world record for going under a row of 57 cars in 45 seconds. Look at that. Aniket Chindak and his limbo stunt Is it a buy, sell, or hold, Julie?
I'm going to be a buzzkill and say it's a sell.
Why?
Because this guy, okay, congratulations. What's he going to do the rest of his life?
Well, that's true. How much can you
I disagree,
do with
Julie.
act?
This is a buy. This is why we need ESPN 8, the Ocho, because hey, look, when Arthur Fonzarelli jumped that shark in that California episode of Happy Days, I thought that was a feat, but nothing crushes that. My groin hurts.
It is.
In our aged, conscious society, it's the question on everyone's lips.
Let me ask you something. How old do you think I am?
48.
I think I'm 48 years old.
52.
The fact is, George Clooney is 47 years old. And so is our new president, Barack Obama. No surprise that they were born around the same time, right? After all, both Clooney and Obama look their age. But how about some of the child and teen icons that we grew up with? They can't be any more than 30-something, right? Well, no. Let's take Gabrielle Kataris, otherwise known as Andrea Zuckerman, of the original Beverly Hills 90210. At 48, she's somehow older than President Obama.
Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
How about the Karate Kid? He too played a teenager in the 80s. But now Ralph Macchio is kicking it old school at the Obama age of 47. Wax on, wax off some Ben Gay, Daniel-san. Hey, did you know that 47-year-old Meg Ryan came up with the first part of Obama's slogan, "Yes, we can," during that famous scene in When Harry Met Sally?
Yes! Yes!
Yes, we can!
Although Obama would have to fill in the last part much later. How about Chachi from Happy Days?
Me and Blue Eyes? Wah, wah, wah.
John Elway, Michael J. Fox, the guy who played Jake Ryan in 16 Candles, all older than the president. And how about the most iconic pop culture stars of them all? The Brady Bunch kids. 5 of them are older than Obama. The good news? Cindy is younger, by about 10 days. Although unlike Obama, she never became comfortable speaking into a camera. So while these movies, television, and sports stars all seem like they own the big and small screen only yesterday, the fact that our president could apply for an AARP card the same time as them is a bit of a reality check.
Do I look 50 to you?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, only from the neck up.
Joe Concha, Fox News.